They say the sun shone now and again, but it was generally cloudy with far too much rain. They say the greatest train robbery in history took place. Probably students. Who else wants to steal a train? They say cabinet ministers and osteopaths were particularly vulgar around this time. They say babies were born, married couples made love, often with each other, and people died sometimes violently. They say it was an average, ordinary, moderate, run-of-the-mill, common or garden summer, but it wasn't. For I locked a yellow door, and I threw away the key, and I spent summer with Monika, and Monika spent summer with me. Unlike everybody else, we made friends with the weather. Most days the sun cold and sprawled all over the place, or the wind blew in as breezily as ever and ran its fingers through our hair. But usually it was the moon that kept us company. Some days we thought about the seaside and built sandcastles on the blankets and paddled in the pillows, or swam in the sink and played with shoals of dishes. Other days we went for long walks around the table and picnicked on the banks of the Settee, or just sunbathed lazily in front of the fire until the shilling set on the horizon. We danced a lot that summer, bossa-novaed by the bookcase or Madisoned instead, hully-gullied by the oven or did the twist in bed. At first we kept birds in a transistor box to sing for us, but sadly they died, we being too embraced in each other to feed them. But it didn't really matter, because we made love songs with our bodies. I became the words and she put me to music. They say it was just like any other summer, but it wasn't. For we had love and each other and the moon for company when I spent summer with Monika, and Monika spent summer with me. Ten milk bottles standing in the hall, 10 milk bottles up against the wall. Next door neighbour thinks we're dead, hasn't heard a sound, he said, doesn't know we've been in bed the 10 old days since we were wed. No one knows and no one sees, we lovers doing as we please, but people stop and point at these 10 milk bottles are turning into cheese. 10 milk bottles standing day and night, 10 different thicknesses and different shades of white. Persistent carol singers without a note to utter, silent carol singers are turning into butter. Now she's run out of passion and there's not much left in me, so maybe we'll get up and make a cup of tea. Then people can't stop wondering what they're waiting for. Those 10 milk bottles are queuing at our door. I have lately learned to swim, and now feel more at home in the ebb and flow of your slim rhythmic tide than in the fully dressed, couldn't care less, restless world outside. You squeeze my hand and cry a little. You cannot comprehend the raggle-taggle of living, and think it unfair that death should be the only one who knows what he's doing. You're afraid of the big bad dark which loiters in our room. The night it prowls about the yard, the wind howls in distress. The Tom moon peeps through the window, waiting for the table to undress. It'll soon be tomorrow, there's nothing to fear. You whisper, never leave me, then put your tongue in my ear. Shh! Don't open it. It can only be the enemy. Said I trusted you, spoke too soon. Heard of your affair with the man in the moon. You say it's all over, then if you're right, why does he call at the house every night? Once I paid the piper and called the tune. But one afternoon, returning home early from the office, I found you in bed with the piper. You call the last waltz, and now I dance sadly out of your life. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Monika, who's been eating my porridge while I've been away? My Quaker oats are nearly gone. What have you got to say? Someone's been at the whiskey, taken the Jaguar keys. And Monika, another thing. Whose trousers are these? I love and trust you, darling. Can't really believe you'd flirt. But there's a strange man under the table, wearing only a shirt. There's someone in the bathroom, someone behind the door. The house is full of sexy men. Monika, don't you love me anymore? You are a woman of many faces, and the one that suits you best, I fear, is the one you wear when I'm not here. For when you wear your marriage face, boredom lounges round the place. Your finger, sadly, has a familiar ring about it. Last night was your night out, and just before you went, you put your scowls in a tumbler, half filled with steradent, so they keep nice and fresh for me. Monika, the tea things are taking over. The cups are as big as bubble cars, they throttle round the room. Tin openers skate on the greasy plates by the light of the silvery moon. The biscuits are having a party, they're necking in our bread bin. That's jazz you hear in the salt cellars, but they don't let non-members in. The egg spoons had our eggs for breakfast, the sauce bottles asleep in our bed. I overheard the knives and forks. It won't be long, they said. It won't be long, they said. And it wasn't. It all started yesterday evening, as I was helping the potatoes off with their jackets. I heard you making a date with the kettle. I distinctly heard you making a date with the kettle. My kettle. Then at midnight in the half-light, while I was polishing the blue speckles in a famous soap powder, I saw you fondling the frying pan. I distinctly saw you fondling the frying pan. My frying pan. Finally at mid-dawn, in the half-night, while waiting in the cool shadows beneath the sink, I saw you making love with the gas cooker. I distinctly saw you making love with the gas cooker. In the gas cooker. My mistake was to leap upon you crying, Monika, spare the saucers. For now I'm alone, you having left me for someone with a bigger kitchen. October, when winter the lodge of the sod came a-knocking at our door, I set in a store of biscuits and whiskey. You filled the hot water bottle with tears, and we went to bed until spring. In April we arose warm and smelling of morning. We kissed the sleep from each other's eyes and went out into the world. And now summer's here again, regular as the rentman. But our lives are now more ordered, more arranged. The kissing, wily, carefree times have changed. We no longer stroll along the beaches of the bed, or snuggle in the long grass of the carpets. The room no longer a world for make-believing in, but a ceiling and four walls that are for living in. We no longer eat our dinner holding hands, or neck in the back stalls of the television. The room no longer a place for hide and seeking in, but a container that we use for eat and sleeping in. Our love has become as comfortable as the jeans you lounge about in, as my old green coat, as necessary as the change you get from the milkman for a 10-bob note. Our love has become as nice as a cup of tea in bed, as simple as something the baby said. Monika, the sky is blue, the leaves are green, the birds are singing, the bells are ringing for me and my gal. The sun's as big as an ice cream factory, the corn's as high as an elephant's. I could go on for hours about the beautiful weather we're having. But Monika, they don't make summers like they used to.